Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV, Nelson County. We're here tonight, and one of the things we like to do is talk to people that have made a difference in our community, people that have been around that's you may not realize what difference they made in your life, but they have. They've made some difference in not only your lives, but the lives of many other people. And tonight's simply no exceptions. We've got Kara Blackman in here, and Kara has been one that has simply been making a difference for many years now. And I know she's retiring, but I know she's still making a difference. We'll talk about it. So Kara, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for all you've done over the years. And I know it's always bad that we highlight people when they announce they're retiring from something, but because they've been doing things all along. But you've been at this education business for a few years, haven't you?
28 and a half years. Actually, a little bit longer than that, but officially 28.5 years.
So what? At some point in your life, you decided you were going to be an educator. And everybody knows when you first start out in education business, it's not a lucrative career.
Oh, heavens.
It's something you have to have a passion for. So what led you to this area?
Well, I actually was a medical technologist for 8 years and worked in a hospital lab and for Red Cross, and was a guest teacher for a week at my old high school with my old high school biology teacher. And I loved it. And my teacher said, "You've got to become a teacher. You're just a natural." And I was really not totally happy being a medical technologist. And so I went back to school, and my first BS degree was medical technology, so I had to go back. And they didn't have online courses, so I had to drive 5 days a week from Paducah to Murray, Kentucky, and take a full load, and did that. And I never regretted it.
I know there's rewarding things, and there's things that are probably very frustrating with it, but you've got some rewards.
Absolutely.
Probably seeing some of these students blossom. You probably don't have any idea how many lives you touched during that.
Well, that's the thing, that you get into education, you're not going to be wealthy.
Yeah.
But we know that there's so much more to life than money. And the things that you do touch lives. That I taught chemistry and AP chemistry. So I had a lot of students that went on to become dentists and doctors and nurses and chemical engineers and people on cutting edge research. And that's the thing, that that you've been a stepping stone and helped them at that point in their life. You help them to become who they are. And then, they touch other people. So you feel like that you touch others, even those people that you don't see.
Yeah. And later on you got into administration. Is that a big step, going from the classroom to the office?
Well, I would have never done that without my principal in Paducah recruited me. And I had been the director of curriculum committee chair for several years. And he and I would butt heads, and he knew that I didn't mind saying, if I believed in something, right, to go to the wall for it. So I had never really intended to go into administration, but he strongly encouraged me, and I loved being an administrator. It never gave me the bang for the buck that teaching did, though.
Well, Bardstown specifically, what have you found about Bardstown that, I don't want to get into all the, we've got some issues we could probably talk about, but what about Bardstown you see as unique or something that we've been doing right?
And I saw this early on, is that family atmosphere, that we truly treat each other like family, and there's just a uniqueness there. The teachers go above and beyond what normal teachers do. We kind of had that in Paducah too, but truly the closeness that the faculty, the administrators, the teachers, and the students, and administrators and students. It's something very, very unique.
Well, administrators obviously have to deal with a lot of different issues. It's also almost like a social system sometimes, but teachers see things firsthand. You're the first one to see a hungry child. You're the first one to see a child that maybe have a learning disorder that nobody else has ever recognized yet. You're the first line of we're identifying issues that may make a difference in the child one way or the other.
Yeah, I say the teachers are in the trenches because they are the first line, and they spend so much time with these children. and really give them attention that sometimes they don't get at home. But they do. They are the first line, and they do recognize when things are not going wrong or not going right, and help them to try to solve whatever situation it is. So my hat always goes off to the teachers.
28 years. What's changed? Is there a lot changed? Are kids pretty much the same now they were then? Teaching's changed a lot?
Well, high stakes accountability has made a huge difference. And I was part of that change. Actually, my second year of teaching, KEA recruited me to go promote all the reform. So I was actually a lobbyist for KERA, K-E-R-A.
Yeah.
And at the onset, I was very excited about it. We've hit some very intense times. I really think with the new commissioner, I think the pendulum's going to swing a little bit where it's not so intense. Dr. Holliday did some great things for our state, but I think a lot of it was too much too soon.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like that we had several years of high stress. Especially for administrators.
Well, I know they went from rote memory to cognitive thinking to critical thinking to things of that nature. And so
21st century skills.
Yeah.
I mean, and we feel like, all the data coming out that, the United States is lagging behind, and, you don't ever want to think the United States lagging behind.
Right.
And so with the high stakes accountability, that I think that put another layer, because when you're dealing with children and families, that can be stressful. But you add that other layer of high stakes accountability, and I think we've lived through the toughest time. I really do.
Was it a tough decision deciding to 28 and a half years is time to go?
Well, a bit, but I have 5 grandchildren, and they're growing up so fast, and I know I have this window of time to truly spend quality time. I've been spending time with them, but it's just been on a weekend here or there, and I want to be able to go to all their programs, and there have been some programs I haven't been able to go to because I had a meeting or a training that I had to go to. So when you have to put them in the back seat, I had to do that a lot with my own children, and not that I regret it. I just don't want to.
You got to put food on the table too.
Yeah, I had to help put food on the table. So I'm sure I will dabble in something part-time, but for right now, I'm just enjoying being a Gigi and spending time with my mother.
And we mentioned before we went on the air, doing some work with your church as well. I mean, there's always volunteer work that you'll be doing.
And I'm already up to my chin with that right now.
People find out you retire, they think you got time on your hands.
Oh yeah. Well, I was juggling all that with working full time, so I feel kind of like, well, I can do this and not feel so harried, going from one thing to the other.
Well, Carol, we do appreciate everything you've done over the last many years, and especially I know people from Bardstown. There's many people out there that's probably listening tonight that you've touched their lives that you don't know you touched their lives, and they may not even realize it as well. But if you think, I can think back to some teachers right now that made a difference in my life, and they never knew it, and they probably still don't know it. But it probably took me 30 years after I got out of school to realize it. But teachers make a difference. Is probably next to the parents, probably one of the most important influences in their life.
I totally agree, and I think it's a very honorable profession to be in, and I'm glad that I spent that much time in it. I really do.
Well, happy retirement, and thank you for all you've done, and we appreciate it.
Thank
and Carol
you.
Blackman, again, one of our local, I don't use the word hero very often, but one of the people that's made a difference in your life and our life. And again, it's people such as yourself that we need more of you.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today, and appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll come back with more Community Focus here in just a few minutes. You're on Channel 6 TV.